So today we are going to do a lighthouse, and this lighthouse reference picture was taken from Quebec. I went on a East Coast trip last year, so this picture was taken from here. It's really simple, and we will make it as simple as possible. So first, let's block the lighthouse here. So I'm going to block the lighthouse in this area because I'm going to split my painting in here. Then we're going to have a foreground, then we're going to have background, and that's it. So I'll first block the top of the lighthouse. So to block the top of the lighthouse, put a triangle like this, and on top of the lighthouse, and we have something like square, and you can see that quickly we kind of did it. And there is also multiple sides of this lighthouse. So what we will do, we will some more room like that, and we will just make like that. And there's a window, it's going to be here, so that's going to be another rectangle like that. And there's going to be another window, and which is facing us, so it's going to be a little bit bigger. And there's another window on the side, so it's going to be a little bit on an angle like that. And that's how perspective works. So I'm kind of keeping that in mind, and I'm just blocking it. And there you go, we kind of did the top part of it. And so there is also a lighthouse, so people usually stand on a podium here. So let's block the podium like that. This is another rectangle too, and add it. So this is on the side, it's going the perspective. I'm putting two lines like this, just showing that it's a perspective is going there. On the other side, the same thing, and I'm just gonna block it here like that. And then I'm gonna combine this to this, and I'm gonna make a line here and make like this. So we're just showing the side of the lighthouse. I'm gonna make another line here like that. So this is the podium, and this is a fence, and we can also put one line here, one line here, and we can also the one behind it, and we can just leave it as it is. We'll just put one line here. And now we block the podium. Let's block the lighthouse itself. So I'm just making sure to add the sides. And it's going to be a tiny lighthouse. So this is going to be curved like that. So I'm going to block the sides like this, like a curved line, and you can see it here. So then we can stop here. So I know as soon as I put it here, so we know that this is a ground plane, so I can stop it here. So for this one, what you could do is you could use a ruler if you want, or you can block it really slow, and don't be scared and not making a straight line. And there you go. And if you want to use a ruler, I'm just going to show you. You can just make sure these two lines are parallel, and the same thing here as well. And you can also use a ruler to block the sides as well. And what I will do here is I'm just trying to make another part here, so it's kind of stays in between like this. And you can see that we kind of blocked in the lighthouse really fast. So in the background, so I'm going to add a little bit of a midground. It's going to be a grass patch here, and we also need like an entrance for the lighthouse. So I'm not going to place exactly in the center, so I'm going to block another like a rectangular shape and a V shape at the top, and that's it. And I also don't want this to be exactly at the top, and we will just have a little bit of like stairs, so people can just walk up to inside. So I'll also make some design here, and that's it. And you can see that we kind of created this really nice lighthouse. And at the background, we had blocked the midground. I'll also put a little bit of like a horizon to see, and we'll add a couple of clouds at the back, and that's what we're going to do. And we're going to keep it really simple. As I said, I make a lot of intermediate tutorials, but if you really want to go and learn it, you can also go and check out my other videos on YouTube as well. I have done a lot of lighthouses. So the first wash is our sky. So I don't want to make this as complex, since I said it's going to be really simple. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take cerulean blue, and you can see the color. It's kind of a little bit of a sky color. And I'm making sure I have a lot of water in my brush. So it's going to be super light. I'm going to start from the top. So sometimes if you want to create a gradient, you can also use cobalt blue. I'll put a cobalt blue here just in case, so you guys can see it. And I'll put a little bit of cobalt blue at the top so you guys can see it. And you can also bring it down like this or bring it down like that. So either way works. So then I'm going to switch to cerulean blue. I want to bring it down. I'm going to have more water. I want to take some more water. I want to take some more water. And I'm going to take some more water. I'm just going to bring it down. But you can see that we kind of created this really nice gradient. But since I have this cobalt blue, I can just rub it out like this. So the transition is a little bit smoother. And I'm going to clean my brush now. And if you want, this another step you could add. You can also use a couple of cerulean blue as well. The reason I'm adding the cerulean blue is just to create a really nice gradient. And I'll just bring it down like this. And you can see that we kind of created this really nice slow gradient. So now we can also block the sea. For the sea, it's the same thing. I'll just bring the cerulean blue down and all the way down here as well. And if you want, you can also make the cerulean blue go all across like this. And now we are in the foreground. So for the foreground, so I have something called a ramber. You could use this ramber, and you can also use burnt sienna, and you can also use a little bit of red. So either one of this works, or else yellow ochre. Either one of this works as well. So what I'm going to do is maybe I'll use yellow ochre and a little bit of ramber. So this kind of looks a little bit vibrant, so I can mix a little bit of blue in it, like cerulean blue in it, or cerulean blue or cobalt blue, either one works. And we can just block it in like this. And you can see that as soon as we mix a little bit of blue in it, it kind of looks really nice. Making sure go over the edges so we get really nice crisp edge once we finish it. If you want, you can take a little bit to the midground like that, because we're going to have the midground a little bit darker, and I'll just stop it here like that. And if you want some color variations, you can take a little bit of burnt amber, and you can also add it like this. Since it's a gravel road, we can have some variations. I'm just dabbing my... So I'm going to let this dry, so then we can apply the second wash on top of it. So now it's completely dry, and you could see it, it's pretty light. So let's block the sea first. For the sea, and I have to make sure that it looks really simple. So what I will do is, I'll take cerulean blue and making sure that I'm keeping my hand a little bit steady, because I want a straight line. And I'll make sure not go over this this guy, and I'll go around it. So now what I will do, I'll take some more water and a little bit of cerulean blue, and I'll just create a gradient from there to here. I don't know, for some reason I'm not able to get some water. There you go. I'm just trying to create the sea like that, and you can see that now we can see a horizon behind it, and you can see that I forget this guy to come here, but still it's going to be a darker midground, so I'm not worried about it. Okay, there you go, and you can see that it looks like a sea now, and we can establish the horizon. So now let's start with the top part of the lighthouse. For the top part, so I'm going to be using red. So for the red, I have Winsor red, and I have this cadmium red. So you can use both, it doesn't matter, you can use whichever you want. So I'll mix both, why not? So you could use any red, so don't worry about using whatever you want. So let's block the top part first. And my consistency is a little bit watery, and that's what I wanted. And I'll try not to be neat. I'm trying to go a little bit slow, but I don't want to. And I'm just blocking the top part. And you can see that we kind of finished the top part already. So I'm going to bring this down and making sure leave some gaps for the windows at the top. And I'm just going to bring here. So this window is completely closed. Other windows we can just add open. So you can see that's how I see in reference, and that's how I'm blocking it. So same thing here, and it kind of connects at the bottom like here, and I will connect it like that. Just putting a little bit of an angle, so it kind of looks like it's on the side. And there you go, we kind of like added the top part of it. So for the lighthouse itself, so I'm going to be using cerulean blue and a little bit of white paint in it. And you could use cobalt blue too, either one works, but white paint is just to bring the consistency and show a little bit of a thick paint. So what I mean by that, if I add it, so it shows a little bit, and that's the reason we are adding it. So nothing fancy about it. It's the same thing from the top to bottom. Again, I'm just filling in the shape like that. So one thing you have to be careful is, since this red is wet, if you touch it, it's gonna bleed. If it bleeds, don't be scared, leave it as it is. There's a lot of my students, they get really scared when they do that step. So don't be scared. I'm gonna fast a little bit, pick up my face. Take some more. And I just blocked it really fast. So this is where you can utilize wet on wet. That's why you have to paint really fast in watercolors. And this looks like one blue color, and let's introduce some colors. So wherever it turns, so we can add some more darker color. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a little bit of burnt sienna, or else you can take sepia or burnt amber. Any earth color works. There's 3 brown colors, and you can take a little bit of blue or cerulean blue, and you can add it here. and let it bleed. And I'll add it here like that. And you can also bring it to this side and then just bring it down like this. And the same thing here. We're just showing that this is going inside, so we are kind of adding it. So we can also add it here a little bit to show there is something like a slab. Now you can see that there's a little bit of form happening, and I'm also going to do at the bottom like here. So now I'm going to clean my brush and I want to blend this a little bit properly. So I'm going to take a little bit of white paint and a little bit of cerulean blue again, and I'm just going to blend it like this, so the transition is really nice. And if you want, you can also rub it like this, but you have to be really subtle when you do this. And you can see that we kind of create this really nice inside part. I'm also going to do the same thing here. I'm just going to block it here like that. I'm going to also put another line so that we know that this is the start line of that. And you can see that it looks really nice now. And same thing here, because we are showing this side, and I'm going to take some more white, cerulean blue. I'll just blend it like that. And you can see that now there's also a top part on it. You also don't see that much, so I'll blend it like that. And there you go. So there's now top part and bottom part. So while this is getting dry, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in and focus on the midground here. So now let's go and add the midground, so that it kind of adds a really nice framing for our lighthouse. So for this, I'm using this green. This is called what green? I don't remember the green for it. You can use any green. And this also I have the light green as well, and you can add that. And I also have some Winsor yellow as well. So what I'm going to do is, first I'm going to add the Winsor yellow and a little bit of this green. So any kind of green works, but make sure you don't make a straight line. So make some wiggly lines. And this is just to frame our lighthouse. And don't make the same pattern twice, and you can break it a little bit better. And you can see that I went really fast and I blocked it as soon as I can. I'm going to do the same thing here. I'm going to connect this guy at this side. And like that. So this looks like one solid color. To make it darker, so I'm going to take this green and take French ultramarine blue, and you can see this color, and just put it on here. And if you want, you can just blend in, and you can also put certain areas here and there. And this kind of looks like some grass patches, and that's it. And we're not going to touch that, and we're going to leave it as it is. And if you want to blend this, you can also take this the leftover road color we did. You can just blend it like this, and same thing here. And you can see that we did a really fast midground element. So now we're already done. So now let's add some shadows. So I'm going to take the same red, what we did. I'm going to take a little bit of French ultramarine blue, or you can use cobalt blue too, both works. This just give the red a little bit darker, and you can see that it got a little bit darker already, and that's what we wanted. So this one, what I'm going to do is just block in at the bottom. As soon as we did, you can see that the light started appearing on our scene. I'm going to do the same thing here on the cap, like that, and like that. And you can also, if you want, and just stays here. I'm gonna put a line here, so there's something kind of happening on the other side. And same thing here at the bottom of the glass windows. I'm going to add it, and as soon as we add it, you can see that it kind of gives this really nice three-dimensional effect to our lighthouse. Same thing here, and same thing here as well. And it goes here, and we'll just add it to here. And you can see that now there is the shadow side and the light side. I'm going to do the same thing here, and there you go. Now you can see that it looks three-dimensional. So I'm going to this same dark red, and I'm going to add those the frames for the lighthouse. And even if it connects like this, it doesn't matter for us. And I'll connect it here. And I'll connect at the back like that, and it connects here. And there's also a middle metal line which goes here. We will add that as well. And there's also one more metal frame, and we can add that as well. And there you go. And you can see that as soon as we add it, it kind of looks like there is this is where people stand on the fence so that they don't fall from the lighthouse. And at the bottom, I also have this what is it called? This frames has this thing, so I'm going to add it. I took a little bit of more French ultramarine blue because it's underneath the fence. It's underneath at the bottom, and I'm just going to connect it like this. And now you can see that we kind of created this really nice lighthouse and everything. So there's only few things remaining. It's just like adding the steps and darker shadows inside. Then we can call this painting done. So the one more thing I want to do for the darker tone, I'm going to take Pion's Gray, and I'll leave some windows, and I'll combine everything together like that. And it's bleeding into the red. It's fine. I'm not worried about it because we want it darker. And there you go. I'll also make a line here so it kind of looks like a window. Maybe we can just do like a plus sign. There you go. And now you can see that there is something inside our thing. So now I have the Pion's Gray. Might as well use some white paint in it. And what we could do is we can just add the steps here like that. And the thing is bleeding, that's fine. And we'll just add this really nice steps. If you want, we'll just combine it, it's fine. And there you go, we can add the steps. I'm going to have this darker Pion's Gray at the bottom like that, and you can see that we kind of created the steps as well. So now we can do is now we kind of finished everything. We can also want to add a little bit of this ground, this lighthouse sitting on the ground. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take sepia and a little bit of Pion's Gray, and wherever it sits, I'm just going to keep my brush like that, so it just anchors the lighthouse on the ground. So same thing for this guy as well. And there you go. And for my steps, it's done from planks, so I'm just gonna make some plank separation using like a really thin brush. see that we kind of created this really nice, really neat. So there is also a couple more things. Every lighthouse has these lines. You can also use this really thin brush to create some. So I'm going to show a little bit, and this is optional. If you guys don't want to do it, do it. So I'm going to make some lines like this. So what this does is it gives this really nice detail for the lighthouse, and you don't have to be, you know, super accurate, because we're just doing this one for fun, and it have to be really light, and keep doing it till the top. And you can see that as soon as we add this detail, it kind of looks really nice. So I'm going to speed up this process really fast. Again, this is optional. You can stop what we left. And you can also see that I'm not scared about like doing straight lines. Even if it's going wonky, that's fine as well. Because the only thing is, when you're painting anything, you need to have fun. That's the most important thing. And the rest, you just let it go. And there you go. See, just by adding this couple of lines here like this, it gives really nice details too. So you can also do the same thing here. I'll do it really fast. And you can also use pencils too. So in here, if you want to add have fun, you can also add some spots here and there. So have some variation on the planks, because not all the planks are not the same, and you can use your what's it called, your fingers, to get rid of it like that. So this kind of gives like a little bit of design element for your lighthouse. And what I will do is I will also do some details, some broken on the lighthouse, on the sides. The paints are chipped, and most of the lighthouse, if you see, the paints are chipped. I'm trying to add a couple more of that, and you can see that now it gives a little bit of life to it. And we can also add it at the top as well. And you can see that let's add what we can do is we can also add one more detail here, like a slab. And there you go. And you know what, let's do one top line like that, like another V shape. And there you go. Now we kind of create a really nice lighthouse. Even if you want some darker values in the foreground, take a little bit of this burnt amber, burnt sienna, and you can also make it a little bit darker and make some strokes like this. So it kind of looks like there is more things happening. And whenever I do lighthouse, I usually make some birds flying around. So the same thin brush, and there you go. And since it's a seascape, it's kind of going around it. And one thing I want to do, this is the last step, I promise. And I'm just trying to keep on adding details on our lighthouse. So wherever the windows are sitting, you can go and add like another little bit of a darker value like that. So that gives a really nice three-dimensional element to our scene. And same thing here as well. And there you go. And now you can see that it kind of looks good. And for the glass, it's kind of showing through, so I want to have a little bit of life to it. So I'm taking yellow ochre and a little bit of this white paint and some this dirt, what we added for the panels here. I'm just going to rub it off like that, so it kind of looks like a different color from the sky. So it kind of looks like a glass. And there you go, you have it now. So now we kind of create a really nice simple lighthouse with fewer colors, with fewer details. It looks really nice. I'm going to take off the tape so you guys can see how this looks like. So the reason being I'm doing this, taking off the tape, is just to give some crisp edges for my artwork. And you can see that how it looks like now. It's really simple. Anybody can try this, and it looks really nice.